So now we're going to find the area of these same types of figures. So in my first problem, I have a figure that's composed of a rectangle and half of a circle. So I'm just outlining these. And we don't need to think about going around these figures. We're finding the space that's inside because we're finding area. So first off, for the rectangle, we have base times height. So my base and my height are 6 and 13. I'm actually going to write down the formula here just because the circle formula is a little bit different. So this is 6 times 13. And then we're adding on half of a circle. So we're going to write down 1/2, and then our formula, I'm going to write it up here, for area of a circle is pi r squared. Now we're going to use that same value for pi, 3.1416, when we calculate this. So I'm going to write this down first, pi, 3.1416. And I ran out of room a little bit. I'm going to write the r squared below. We're writing pi r squared. So here, the diameter of my circle is 6. So the radius of my circle is half of that, which is 3. And this is a different half than the half that's in my formula. This is just half of the diameter. So over here, we want pi r squared. So we have pi, and then we're going to have 3 squared. So when I type this in, and actually I'm going to rewrite that. I'm going to write the formula up here like I did for my rectangle, 1/2 pi r squared. So 1/2, 3.1416. And now I can fit it, so this is my 3 squared. So if I type this whole thing in, and actually I'll do it piece by piece first. This part will give me 78. This part over here is going to give me 14.1372. And when I add those two together, I get 93.1372. Rounding to the nearest tenths, we're going to look at this number, and that's going to keep it the same because the 3 is smaller than a 5. So this is going to stay 93.1. This would be units squared, but once again, Delta Math takes care of the units for us. So I would just put down 93.1. So we're going to do one more of these. So this one, we're going to kind of ignore that dotted line. That's really just showing how long this space is. But this is a rectangle. So here's my outside rectangle. I can't really trace it. I'm going to do dotted lines along here because it doesn't really exist there. And then we're going to subtract a half circle and subtract another half circle. So here's my first half circle I'm subtracting. I'm cutting this out as if I had scissors. Okay? And then I am cutting out my other half circle over here. So my rectangle is base times height, right? So that's just 12 times 6. Okay. My first half circle, the radius there of this half circle is half of that, so it's 3. And it just so happens both of these had a diameter of 6, radius of 3. It could be a different number there. Like if I had an 8 right here, then the radius would be 4. So I'm doing minus 1/2 3.1416, and then that radius is 3, so we're going to write 3 squared. So that just comes from our 1/2 pi r squared formula for that circle. I'm going to bring this blue one down onto the next line. So this is for this part here, 1/2 3.1416. This side is the same size, right? So we still have a radius of 3. So this is 3 squared. So this one, I'm just going to type the whole thing in my calculator, which is fine to do. As I said, you can do it piece by piece or all at once. And that would give me 43.7256. So rounding to the nearest tenths place, looking at the number next to it, this number is smaller than 5. So I'm going to stay at 43.7 as my answer.